Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here with the beginning of a series on Sevtech Ages. I have already played the game for a couple of hours just to make sure that it's something that I am feeling excited and fun and inspired by. So I've been about halfway through the Zero Age, the Stone Age, and I think this is one that I can stick with for a while. I'm not going to be making any promises because if you take a look at my channel history, you can see that my track record on completing playthroughs of packs is pretty bad, but we're going to see how far we can get with this one. We're going to go ahead and make a brand new LP world, and as soon as I possibly can, this is going to be offloaded onto an Ackla's server, but I'm just waiting for them to get their one-click install set up. You'll be able to find links to Ackla's through my sponsorship with them down below. Let's see what I'm going to go. We're going to go with Gurney Halleck for our world seed because I always use a Dune name for my world seed. And we're going to don't touch any of the other generation stuff because Sevtech and Darkhosto, mostly Darkhosto from what I understand, have put a ton of work into getting this pack balanced razor fine. Now I'm going to meet you as soon as the world is done loading. Welcome to Sevtech. Open the advancements window to find out how to progress. That's the thing that I find the most fascinating about this pack so far, is it uses the advancement system, which used to be the achievement system. It exists in vanilla and shows you how to get through vanilla. Well, they managed to build their entire quest progression into the advancements window. You don't get any rewards for the quests, but you don't need them. That's not their point. Whale and the map are not available from the beginning of the mod pack. They need to be unlocked like just about everything, or excavation, everything else. This is very important if you use a resource pack like I do. I'm using the Faithful 32 resource pack. If you change a resource pack while the pack is running, you'll need to fully restart the game due to an issue with items not hiding correctly and recipes not showing correctly. This is because the way they have things gated literally hides items and blocks both in JEI and in the world. Like, you can't even see them. You don't know they're there. If you visit a village, your blacksmith is just going to have cobblestone walls, no furnaces. You're not going to be able to see the lava. It's fascinating to me. And they have a multiplayer team set up with Together Forever, which I have not investigated because I've been playing this solo so far. It is a rather beefy pack. It's going to take a lot of a computer to run it. Oh, and this is not auto jump. This is some version of step assist, which I don't know what mod is causing it, but it's not something that you can turn off right off the bat. We're just gonna get a look at the lay of, ooh. I'm not sure what biome this is, and the F3 screen, either I've forgotten how to read this or they've managed to hide the biome tracker in the F3 screen, which I think they have. Which I find fantastic. I really like this starting area. I've got like some islands nearby. I feel like I'm on a little archipelago. I've got some good sea stuff. If I'm spotting things properly, there's a couple of sea lanterns down there. This could be a cool place to build. Oh, we even got some initial crops. You're not going to be able to make a hoe and create farmland easily right out the gate. In fact, you're not going to be able to do much of anything right out the gate. To complete the tutorial, complete the advancement to craft a work stump to move into Age 0. Well, we can't even make a work stump yet. If we look up work stump, we will see that we need logs, which are currently restricted. We cannot access this item yet. You need Stage 0 first. And to accomplish that, we need to collect fiber. To get started, you'll need to collect plant fibers from breaking tall grass, craft 3 together to get plant twine. So we go ahead and smash some grass and get ourselves some plant twine, and then we can make ourselves, there we go, or get some fiber to make plant twine, and we're going to need to get flint to make ourselves the flint hatchet. So to make a flint hatchet, we're going to need flaked flint, this twine, and there's a number of other potential options that we can't use yet, and a stick. So let's go ahead and keep gathering bits of stuff here and there. The rocks will become useful later, and we need to be hunting for some gravel. I don't see a gravel beach from here, but I'm sure we'll find some. This pack early on, I really love the Stone Age feel of it, which is making use of both... Oh, hey, look, gravel. Ooh, and is that an easy path down to the water? This is really cool. Ah, we gotta go check this out. Yeah, look at this grotto leading down to the beach. Ah, I am so happy with that. And then this little, like, sheltered bay. I don't know. I feel like I might need to dig into the side of this mountain and build down here. That just, it's inspiring. It feels cool. And I love that sense of wonder that I can occasionally get out of Minecraft. This pack definitely has it big time for me. Like, that's why we play, is this game. Or at least that's why I play this game. Sorry, I'm very froggy this morning. Hold on. Clearly I need to be hydrating a little bit better, especially if I'm going to be talking this much. Anyway, let's grab some gravel, because we're going to need some flint. And yeah, this is actually quite a great little start area. I'm loving it. We're probably not going to be able to actually, you know, build here long term, though, now that I think about it, because we're going to want to travel and explore and find things like animals to hunt and villagers to trade with. But we can at least take a look around. We're definitely going to have to get onto boat building pretty soon. Excuse me while I gather some plant fiber. And it just feels like a very well done and fitting for Minecraft series of progression into from the start moving on. Oh, how do you make that? Because we need a... Use the grass fiber mesh. Okay. Fiber mesh. Oh, right, it uses sticks. We need sticks. Well, sticks are pretty simple to get. You can either find them lying on the ground underneath trees, occasionally, or you can get them by smashing leaves. So you don't start punching trees, you start punching leaves. There we go. Now I've got some sticks. Fantastic. One fiber mesh allows us to get gravel. And now we're gonna, not gravel, allows us to turn gravel into flint, and now we need to turn that flint into flaked flint by smacking it on a rock. And cobblestone will do just as well as solid stone. And there we are. Now we have our flint hatchet, and we can start chopping down trees. It's dangerous to go alone. Oops, yep. We're not allowed to have olives yet. We're not that cool. Caveman hate tree. There we go. Smack down some trees. Now, we don't have a lot to fear in the night during the early game. Probably the worst of it would be wild dogs because they move so fast. Luckily, they only seem to spawn at night. Oops. We're not allowed to have flowers yet. We're not that cool. That's the one downside, is that you can find things that you're not technically allowed to have just yet. So it ends up with some weirdness. Can I at least replant the olive tree? Yes, I can. Good. Because the olives are going to not be allowed. Like, if I have them selected, oh, you're not allowed to have these. And they get tossed. However, the alternative would be to make it so that, like, you can't even gather. You can't cut down trees or break flowers early, which would be really weird. Alright, what's next on the agenda? Right, we can get our chopping block and then our crafting stump. And from the crafting stump, we can start working on... I think we're going to need to make a boat early, honestly. Yeah, we're going to have to go traveling. Because there's nothing. We got like a series of survival islands. Oh, yep, there's a wild dog. Those are gnarly. Animalia offers some of the nastiest early enemies. Luckily, the game has progression breaks for the monsters that can spawn. We literally can't have the worst of the worst show up yet. There, chopping block and a work stump. Hooray! We have completed stage 0. And we've unlocked the work stump. The work stump is a pretty cool method of crafting early on. Oh, we got a free crafting rock. Fantastic. we can use it to make basic items. Well, actually, you can use it to make any item, as far as I'm aware. It works exactly like a crafting table. Hang on. Raft. Yeah, we need actual string for that. Can I turn anything that I currently have into string? It doesn't look like I can. That's a big limitation. If I had cotton, sure, that's okay. But yeah, you right-click items onto the log to be able to place them, and you can right-click them off. And once you have everything in the proper order, you smack it with your crafting rock until something crafts. For example, let's go get some more gravel flaked, and I can show you the crafting of a flint pickaxe. And this is what you're going to be using for all of your crafting during Age 0, which was slightly annoying at first, but I quickly adapted. It became fine after not very long. I find that swapping what block you're hitting helps it flake a little bit faster. Let's see if I can remember the pickaxe recipe off the top of my head without needing to reference it in the book. Nope, I did it wrong. Of course, I was suddenly called AFK while I was figuring out the recipe, and now it's raining and close to dark because I managed to miss the pause. Anyway, you're making something, you just get it laid out properly, right-click your crafting rock on it until it crafts. Did I do it wrong again? Flaked flint, plant twine, stick. No, doesn't look like I did. Unless I've managed to screw up which way is up and down. That can happen. The plant twine should be... Ah, okay. This is the bottom of the crafting table. Should have known when the sticks weren't lining up properly. There we go. And you get a little bit of it. Ow! Jeez! You get a little bit of experience for your crafting troubles as well. Whew. Hostile world, huh? That's okay. Thanks to the 1.12 food mechanics, it's fairly easy to keep your health mostly topped up. We're gonna need some more. That's part of why we're gonna need to be traveling. Fortunately, we don't have easy access to string anytime soon. Ooh, taters. You can find bits of crop like this out and about in the world. I don't think we can use hemp yet. We need a millstone to mill hemp into string. Well, that's not happening. Well, it could. It could. Let's see. What are you? Attack damage 3, attack damage 4. You know what? Now that we've got ourselves a pickaxe, let's go ahead and mine a bit of cobblestone so that we can make ourselves a better weapon. And in 1.2, I really like using a stone axe as my first weapon. And I go ahead and keep that in my offhand, ready to smack things at any time. And if I really want to be protected, I make 2 of them. Because these swing for 9, which is half a zombie, or more if you get the critical, which just requires a bit of a jump. So, I think it's worth it. I should probably bake these potatoes for better food. And we've got the option of doing that now that we've got our crafting stump. Ooh, spider over there. Things are getting dangerous. Gotta be a little careful here. Alright, there's our second stone axe. And now I can whack things but good. Whack. I don't think it actually allows you to dual wield like this, does it? No. That's okay. We'll have one on hand and another for repairs later, or in case ours accidentally breaks. Hello, zombies. Ooh, taters. It's a good time to harvest the local crops if it's raining because they're hydrated, so they're growing faster. Down he goes. Fantastic. Can't do much with the rotten flesh yet. You can eat it, but it doesn't provide any nutrition. I don't actually know the name of this mod because I've done zero research going into this pack. However, I do have a vague idea of how it functions. When you get these meters full or full enough, you get some sort of buff. So rather than penalize you for not eating a variety of food, this pack rewards you. And I think that's the best way to go. I like that quite a bit. Saw the same mechanic recently in Grimco's Wasted using, I think it was Hunger Overhaul, which reduces the amount of food that things give naturally, but gives you a bonus to your ability to heal not long after eating. All right, so let's see. What's next? We need fire sticks and a fire pit. And the fire sticks are simple enough to make. They're just a couple of sticks like so. And you get a free one when you make your first. You require 2 whittled fire sticks to start 1 fire. It's a problem. The fire pit is also pretty simple. Uses rocks. I'm just going to use the ones I found on the ground. Some plant twine, and I think that was sticks. Okay, cool. And then with that, we're going to be able to start cooking some food, which is going to help in the long run. The way this works is you right-click your food, your item onto it, and then you feed it some form of fuel. Oh, and it doesn't like the rain. I guess that's not a big surprise. So let's build it a little hut to cook in. We're going to need to drop some oak woods onto our chopping block and chop it with our choice of hatchet or not drop, right click. Our choice of hatchet or axe so that we can get some planks to build with. And this is, I can see this being very frustrating for people that really hate having their abilities reduced from vanilla Minecraft. I find it quite a lot of fun to have the additional requirements placed on me. I think that this is a pretty good setup for a Stone Age, as it were, where you have to do extra work to get things. Just gonna make a little 5x5 rain shelter, basically. Well, we would, except, you know, we need to chop down more trees to make that happen. But this is enough so that we can cook uninterrupted. Just need to go get some more lumber. Alright, I'm gonna hack down the rest of the trees on this island and then start some more growing, and I'll be right back. Nighttime in the rain during the Dark Ages when we don't have torches or furnaces seems a lot scarier than it actually is. One of the things I absolutely adore about this pack is the fact that they did a really good job, they being mostly Darkosto as far as I'm aware, of setting things up so that the challenges in the early game match the tools that you have to deal with them. I mean, I don't have much in the way of armor available to me, but that's okay because the enemies involved, like the nastiest of the vanilla enemy is a skeleton with a bow when you're unarmored and right at the beginning, or, you know, lots of creepers or endermen, or maybe the spider because it moves so fast. But the number of spawns you get is fairly low early on, and the skeletons have trumpets. They can't hurt, they can't endlessly rain arrows into you and cause you to be dead. You're not dealing with any of the, like, tough as nail mobs or special modifiers or anything like that. You can go out with naked, wielding a stone axe, and feel fairly secure in your ability to tackle most of the creatures that you come across, even in small groups. And I'm sure that that took a ton of effort to get the spawning just so that all works out. Ooh, beets. And I'm really impressed. I feel like they did a great job with it. Oh no. Still gotta be careful with them creepers, though. At least if you value no holes in your terrain. We're going to be abandoning this island in the relatively near future, though, so I'm not too worried about it. Ah, spider. Spooter! Oh, HP getting low. It's my own fault. Let's see if I can manage to get out of this. One more hit. There we go. Yes, I took one more hit. Olives. We can use them now that we're in tier 0. The only downside to eating olives, and it's a big one, is you get nausea 2 for 10 seconds when you eat an olive, and it only gives you half a shank. However, it does give you 0.5% of fruit bonus as well, so maybe it's worth it. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do to process olives just yet. Eventually, we'll be able to make the crushing tub, but we need to get to stage 1 before we can access that. And then we'll be able to make olive oil, and I'm sure there's a whole progression path that involves olives and olive oil that I'm eager to experience, but I've never played with Rustic before, so I have no idea what it's like. Bad zombie. I do love that you get, like, the exact health bars in this pack. I don't remember what UI mod that is, but it's one that is fairly common to Dark Hosto's work. Okay, there we go. Finally, some peace and quiet, long enough to cook a potato or two. If I remember right, 2 logs is enough to bake 3 items. And I believe that this uses the same cooking times as a furnace. The problem is that you only get 1 item cooked at a time. And it can only do food. You can't, like, cook stone or clay or anything like that in this. Huh, I wonder if it's because it's raining it's taking longer, because that's definitely not done yet. Weird. I thought that we got enough out of it. Here, I'm just gonna put 10 in there, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it stacks up the duration. Otherwise, I'm gonna be a sad mentat. Because that's a lot of tending of the fire. Oh, yeah, there we go. 1 baked tater, 2.5% vegetable, and 2.5 shanks, 3 shanks worth of saturation. Fantastic. Nom. We are potato powered now. And you get that bit of experience to let you know that your thing is done cooking. Fantastic. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright. Be right back. Owing to my own inattentiveness, the area I was set up got a bit creeperfied while I was looking through the manual. However, it's about time we leave anyway. We're going to take some of these olive saplings with us. 5 of them, I'm thinking, so that we have them in wherever we end up. Can we eat beets straight up? We can. What can we use them for? Oh, we can bake beets. That's an option. We can also mill them into rose red. That's also an option. So yeah, probably worth taking the beets, not the hemp. And let's just make sure we have a destination in mind, because there's a couple of biomes that it would be very, well, there's a lot out in the world that it would be very useful for us to find. Sheep, so that we could get some wool, some string, not wool. We can get fleece from the sheep, which we can turn into string. I think that our best bet might be that forested-looking bit of land that we saw across the way near spawn. That there. Because that looks like it could be the edge of a continent and not just another island. And we need to find a dry land for some salt, a dark land for abyssal craft goodies, as well as the ability to get, like, actual item storage. So yeah, we'll check that one as our first stop. And from here on in, we need to be a lot more careful about potentially dying, because we don't have any easy method of resetting our spawn point at this time. Hopefully we won't regret the swim across the ocean. Cool underwater terrain, though. Wonder if I can get to any of that safely. Doesn't look like it. And you can see fishies in the sea. No sharks yet. That's a bonus. Lots of gravel down there. We can ever get ourselves some water breathing. Or at least like a snorkel or something. Which usually extends the amount of time you can hold your breath underwater in video games. Because video games. Alright, that block might be salt, or something else of use. Or clay. It's hard to tell. Clay. Okay. Oh, and the amount of... and I'm going to drown slightly trying to fetch it. Yeah, we need to find a shallower option. Ooh, there we go. One of the zombies I killed dropped me a leather jacket. Yes, salt. Excellent. The reason we want salt is for leather production. We're going to need to do quite a bit of work to make leather. Let me show you the chain. To get to leather, we need to do some drying of, there we go. Wet tanned hide. To get wet tanned hide, we need to combine our dried hide with resin and water. I think you can do it in a basin as well. Yes, you can. In fact, it's more efficient to do so in a wooden basin, which I can't craft yet, which is probably why. The dried hide requires us to dry salted hide. The salted hide requires us to combine water and salt with raw hide, and the raw hide we make by scraping any form of hide that we get with a work blade. So we need to do the full classic proper leather making process to be able to actually make leather in this pack. And that's going to be very off-putting for some. I find it darling. I think it's fantastic. It also means that for every bit of leather that we want to make early on, we're going to need 1 salt. And we're going to need to get a... I'm not sure how we're going to manage the fluid bladder early on. We'll get there. I'm sure the advancements will lead us that way. But it was telling me that I needed salt from a dry biome. Unfortunately, I don't get the advancement for that until after I do the hot grill, which requires me to bake stone, which requires me to set up a clay kiln. Yeah, there's a lot of bits that go into this. I'm going to harvest the rest of this salt and then we'll continue exploring. Quickly made myself a shovel to make the harvest go a bit faster. 52 salt, and we're back on our way. Let's see. The next episode or two, as we're coming up on our final time, is likely to involve a lot of exploring and gathering natural resources and finding things that we need to make the Stone Age comfortable. I like taking my time with stuff like this when I can, and this seems like a pack that is really designed for you to smell the roses on your way through, you know? Not try to rush for endgame, but enjoy the mechanics of each stage along the way. So that's how I'm going to be trying to approach it. Is this like a tiny birch forest island? I have got some weird and cool terrain generation going on. We've got like an archipelago style something or other happening here. What are you? Lily of the Valley from Ferdinand's Flowers. Some sort of color item, I bet? Yeah, white dye powder. Neat. Wonder why it was a hello. Well, that's hazardous to everybody's health, isn't it? Hey, sugarcane. Take some of this with us. Cool. Looks like there's more birch forest just across the way there. Fortunately, without any map or anything, we're just kind of wandering blind until we find the sort of thing we're looking for, and we need to kind of go by the trees that are out there. That looks like cherry trees over there. And okay, that's cool. That like that like flooded grotto looking thing. Chamomile. What? From rustic? Used for alchemy. That's a long way off. I don't have inventory space for things that are that far off. Ow. However, rice from actually additions definitely have room for you. Because we can, using the grindstone, make rice flour, which we can easily make dough. Well, once we have... Oh, hey, good. Clay bucket's an option. Woohoo! Once we have... Well, it takes salt for dough. Anyway, I want to have some rice anyway, because later on, when we unlock the rice slime balls, that'll be very useful. Now it looks like it's getting dark, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to get much exploring done. Let me know in the comments below how much exploring you want on screen. I can do a bunch of this off camera, if that's what you folks prefer. But I can also guarantee that I'm not going to see those comments until a couple of days from now, so there's going to be at least another episode of the exploration. Simply because I won't hear that nobody wants to see it. Thinking we're gonna... Ooh. Hello, Wolfie. Come here, you. Ow. Wolves have a hit and run approach. When they take damage, they back off for a moment. There we go. Awesome. Wolf pelt. Wolf pelt has a couple of uses. You can make it into that hide, but you can also turn wolf pelt directly into armor. Which I think is just great. I'd like to have some armor. More than this very damaged leather tunic that I grabbed off of the zombie that spawned. Hopefully there aren't a ton more wolves in these woods, though. Hello. Berries are always useful. Bit of food, bit of fruit. Still have never gotten one of those nutrition bars high enough to see one of the buffs, but I haven't been playing very long, and I'm fairly certain that we're going to be able to unlock some complex and interesting meals later on. Ooh, there we go. That's a thing that we were looking for. Maybe we wait for daytime to go check that out, though. Piggies. Yes. Protein. Ow. Weird rock. Probably shale from rustic. Come here, piggies. I want to ask you a question. That joke is ancient, but still funny to me. Probably because I'm ancient. At least in terms of Minecraft and internet and gaming. 35 is on the older side of life. Hello. Come here, piggy. Oh. Inventory issues. Oh, not a giant surprise. Crafting rock we can get rid of. The fiber mesh we can also get rid of. The glorious mountain tree pig. Great. I'm playing Lego City again, hunting for mountain pigs. Ah! Hi, pig. Apparently I'm not very observant. But we knew this. Also, finally, we can make leather from pigskin. As it should be. I hear you. I hear you, pig. Come here, pig. There you are. Here, pig, pig, pig. Ooh, more beets. Ha! Good times. Alright. I'll be back come morning. Actually, I'll be back in the next episode as we're about out of time, aren't we? Ooh, hello, Wolfie. Bad wolf. Thanks very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Leave me a thumbs up and tell me what you liked, or a thumbs down and tell me what you didn't, if you would please. Click subscribe if you'd like to see a bit more of this, and my other Minecraft and hopefully soon, the reboot of Terraria series. Ow, stop that. Ooh, we need that. We need to make room for that. Maybe we'll be able to eat our berries and have that take its place. That'd be cool. You know what? There. Spider eye. Less important than wolf head. Because we need the wolf head to make the helmet. 4 pelts and 1 head to make a wolf helmet. Once again, let me know in the comments below how much exploring you'd like to see me do on camera. I'm pretty sure that's a dark biome over there from Abyssal Craft, so that's going to help us out quite a bit. So we're definitely heading into there. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.